Hi friends, Nathan Middle Down Under here. I hope you're all having a great weekend. It's Sunday morning over here, about 9:30, and I thought I'd jump on and do an update while I've got no family around this weekend. I've got a bit to show. I've got a huge stack in my inbox, and I just randomly pulled out a few CDs and a few vinyl to show. So without further ado, I'll get on with it. I'll start with CDs first. The first one is actually what is playing in the background. That is April Art. Name of the album is Poker Face, a brand new album from this year. This is their second full-length album. They also had an EP out between the two full lengths. And I've been meaning to pick up some of this stuff for the longest time. You go to their website and they don't ship to New Zealand. So I couldn't find it anywhere else until I came across it on Discogs, on the Groovelands website. So I picked it up. Now this has just been released on vinyl as well, but after the fact that I bought the CD, but that's okay. CD's fine with me. Great German modern hard rock, as you can hear in the background. Female fronted, of course, as you can hear. Yeah, really good album. Spun this a couple of times now. Only got it a few weeks back. But yeah, really enjoy it. I will say I do prefer the debut album a little bit better, but this is definitely growing on me. I really like that cover art. Lisa Marie's vocals are really killer, as is the rest of the band. And in the booklet we just have standard lyrics, and at the back we have a picture of the band. Yeah, I really enjoy these guys. Fantastic modern hard rock from this young band. As I said, Poker Face 2022 release, and this came out on Initiative Music or Rock Attack. But yeah, hope you enjoy that playing in the background. A bit of April Art and Poker Face, brand new from 2022. So that's the first one. Next one I picked up very cheap. I was at a local chain store. Heard of the band before. I knew they were AOR, and this was, I think it was $1.99. So I couldn't leave it behind. A bit of Aldo Nova and Twitch. It's an okay album, but as I said, I only paid $1.99 for it. Came out on Epic Sony. Originally in 1985. This is music on CD. Classic albums available again on CD. But obviously, 80s AOR. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Don't know anything about them at all. All I know, I've heard of them and I've seen people show them before. But not much to the book. But yeah, it's a good listen. Pink guitar there, so yeah, $1.99. Bit of a blind buy really, because I've never heard them before, but yeah, glad I picked it up. Aldo Nova. Apart from that, know nothing about them, so can't really say anything else, but I did enjoy it. Next one, absolutely love this band ever since the 90s, and that is the band Madball. New York hardcore at its finest. This album that came out on Roadrunner in 2000, I suppose. I'll have a look in the book. But yeah, fantastic hardcore band from New York. Love their stuff. Very angry music. But yeah, I love it. Have a year in the book. I can't see a year, but whatever. Yeah, great band, great album, love all their stuff. To me, they have put out nothing bad, and you have a typical hardcore black and white collage. I think this is the second or third album I have from them now on physical format. Back in the 90s, you just couldn't get this stuff in New Zealand. So, we're glad to be picking it up now. And Madball, this is either from the 90s or the early 2000s. That I can't remember. But yeah, fantastic album from Madball. Now we have a hard rock band out of Sweden. I'm pretty sure they're Sweden. I picked up their previous album to this a few months back, but that is the band Aerodyne. This is their brand new release, 2022, Last Days of Sodom. Really awesome artwork there. I will say their last album is better than this one. They changed the drumming style and it sounds quite tinny, but still a really good listen if you can get past the drums. Silly digi pack sort of deal, but at least it comes with the place for the CD. I don't think this has been released on vinyl. Their last album was, which I picked up on vinyl. There's the band there, but really awesome modern hard rock with the sound of the early 90s, late 80s style. Really talented guys here. Lead singer sounds amazing, but yeah, I really enjoy this. I'm not sure if they've put anything else out apart from the two albums. They may have done, but I haven't really looked into it too much. But this is a really good modern hard rock album if you can get past the tinniness of the drums. I don't know why they changed it, but is what it is. Still a good listen. Aerodyne and Last Days of Sodom. Last CD, we have a bit of Canadian metalcore band, The Agonist, and this album features Alyssa White-Gluz, who is an arch enemy now. She started off in The Agonist. This album came out in 2007. Can't remember if this is their debut or their second release, but I've loved The Agonist ever since I heard them. Came out on Century Media. Really good band, and even without Alyssa on vocals, they still sound really good. Clean vocals, screaming vocals, really good stuff. The Agonist. Pick this up here in New Zealand for a super cheap price. And on the side we have lyrics, but they are very hard to decipher. Yeah, you can decipher it, but it takes a little bit of a looking. There's a picture in the book. No, there's no picture, but yeah. Great album from The Agonist. I believe this is the first ever album I heard from them, if I remember correctly. But Alyssa has gone on to greater things since The Agonist. But it's the year 2007. Let's look at the names of the songs. Business Suits and Combat Boots is the first song I ever heard from The Agonist. But yeah, very happy to have this. I now have this one. I have their second album with Alyssa on it. I just need to pick up the third one with Alyssa. But yeah, really glad to have The Agonist. I'm pretty sure this is their debut, to be honest. Yep. So that's all the CDs. Now we'll get on to about 5 or so vinyl. First one, picked up my favourite album on vinyl from Carcass, Swan Song. But what I will say, this isn't a very good pressing. It's very low in sound, so you really have to crank the stereo up to even hear it. And it is quite crackly, not just between the tracks, actually during the tracks as well. Whether it's just this copy or not, I don't know. I bought it brand new. It doesn't skip or anything like that. But yeah, very low in sound. And I remember when the first time I put it on, cranked up the stereo to hear it, and then I took it off, changed records, forgot that I'd cracked the stereo almost full blast and almost gave myself a heart attack. Yeah, when I put the next record on. But yeah, I love this album. This turned me on to the band back in, what year was this? 95. And when I heard it, I'd actually heard of Carcass before, but I thought it'd be way too heavy for me. But turns out this album is fantastic. It's more melodic death metal, along with their previous album Heartwork, which I also picked up on vinyl, which I showed some time ago now. Yeah, 95 on Earache. Just not a huge fan of the pressing. Great songs on here like Go to Hell, the last track, Black Star, Keep on Rotting in the Free World. Just a fantastic listen. Yeah, and this is my introduction, which might be why it is my favourite album. Their last album from last year, I think it was my third favourite album of the year. So yeah, loving my Carcass these days. I picked this up on CD right back in 1995, pretty much as a blind buy, even though I thought they'd be too heavy for me. I'm very surprised that they weren't. I know this album doesn't get much praise because of its departure in the heaviness, but yeah, great melodic death metal from Carcass and Swan Song. So yeah, very happy to have the reissue. I mean, it's just on black backs. We have the lyrics just with the wish the sound was a bit better. I did find that Heartwork is a lot better in sound than Swan Song. So that's the first one. Next one is a band out of New Jersey. They are a female-fronted hard rock band, and that is Reality Suite. And I picked up this package. Take it all out. This is their second full length. They have a lot to do with the record store, Spin Me Round Records. They get a lot of promotion out of the store, so they sent a sticker, which was cool. And I said this is their second full length, and it all came fully signed by the band. It's called Awaken. It came out in 2021, and yeah, very happy to have this, especially because it came signed. There's the band on the back. Kimmy, amazing front woman, and it also came with 2 replica show passes from Poughkeepsie, if that's how you say it, in New York, Saturday, May 2nd, 2020. So yeah, they're cool little replicas of their show. So I thought it was pretty cool. And came with, I'll get them out, 2 posters. It's the first one, fully signed by the band once again. Got no room to put it in my little man corner, but hopefully one day I will. And then we have my favourite of the 2 posters, which also came fully signed by the band. So it's awesome they throw in these extra bits and pieces. And came on white vinyl. Vinyl's a little bit warped, it's not too bad. And on the Hope sticker, Reality Suite, Awaken, first time on vinyl. Includes the new single Triggers with Kiss the Ring, Dead to Me. Limited to 300 units, pressed on white vinyl. Spin Me Round Records exclusive. And when the album originally came out, it didn't have the song Triggers on it, so it's awesome to have it on this release. But also came with a hand-written lyric sheet from Kimmy herself, yeah, which I thought superb to have this. Bit of memorabilia from the band, and it's from the song Grave, which Kimmy actually wrote. There's two main songwriters, Kimmy one and bass player, I believe. But yeah, Kimmy wrote these lyrics for Grave, and so she did the lyrics out for me, which was absolutely fantastic. So that's that. It's a great package there, but also got Reality Suite and Closure, which is also fully signed from the band. And this is unplugged sort of album, or this is Triggers Reimagined, not sure what that exactly means, and Kiss the Ring Reimagined, but a great little, how many songs? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine tracks on here, and it was limited to 100 copies, and I have number 29, if you can read it backwards. Yeah, but yeah, really good little sort of pack here with unplugged versions and remixes, if you call it that. So yeah, a great little package there from Reality Suite. I hope to pick up their debut album on CD at some point. But yeah, so that's really, really cool to get that package. Next one, I was so excited to get this album. I pre-ordered it months and months ago. It turned up a while ago now. I've had time to spin it, and it's superb. I must have spun it about 5 times now. Definitely be near the top of my 2022 list if I decide to make one, and that is the band Halo Effect out of Sweden. It's called Days of the Lost. Now, if you don't know this band, they're from Gothenburg in Sweden, and it features all former members of the band In Flames, including the original lead singer from the first album, who is now obviously in Dark Tranquillity. But yeah, very, very happy to have this absolutely superb melodic Gothenburg death metal, melodic death, and it takes you back to the earlier days of In Flames, and yeah, really, really killer stuff. The first song they released was Shadow Minds, mind-blowing song. They put out Days of the Lost. I've got videos out for these on YouTube. Feel What I Believe was another one they put out. This one came out 2022, Nuclear Blast. And I said I pre-ordered this, and there's the band there. I said all former members of the band In Flames. Very, very awesome band. Now I believe they got together as a bit of a project in 2020 because of COVID and had nothing else better to do, so they started putting music together, and then they decided to make it a full band project, and they've been out on tour. So yeah, fantastic. Really, really enjoy this album, and it came out on a really cool white and black, sort of like, I don't know what you call that, splattery sort of thing, which really, really suits the colours. And it also came with a big, really, really thick book with obviously lyrics and so forth, and if you remember correctly, you have pictures of each band member. So if you like In Flames and you never heard of this band, do check them out. I think it's absolutely superb. Really, really catchy tunes, and yeah, as I said, definitely be near the top of my list this year. So yeah, the Halo Effect and Days of the Lost. Really good album. Very, very happy that they put that band together. Next one, a little bit disappointed with this one. I think they're out of Finland. I might be wrong, but that is the latest from Reckless Love. Typically a modern hard rock band, but they've completely changed their sound for this one. This is more of a pop synth, rock and hard rock in there as well, but there's a lot of like 80s inspired synthesizer in there. Not as though the songs are bad, but I'm a huge fan of their rocky albums. Don't get me wrong, there's some rocky stuff on here as well, but it's got that synth sound going in behind it. And as you can tell, even though the colours sort of like 80s looking, but yeah, I still enjoy the album. Definitely my least favourite of the catalogue. But yeah, they've got a few clips out on YouTube on this. But you got songs like Kids of the Arcade, which is the 80s all over, 89 Sparkle. Yeah, I know, a good album, but it's not what I was used to. Definitely turned a lot of people off the band. But yeah, I picked it up. It came out on AFM 2022. Got all the other stuff now pretty much, apart from a couple of albums. They certainly put a few out. But yeah, very happy still to have it in the collection. What did I say the name? Turbo Rider is the name of the album. And it came out on a orange vinyl, almost as pink in the video, but yeah, really, really cool colour. Yeah, so a little bit disappointed with it. Definitely not an album that would make my top list, but very, very happy to have it all the same, since I'm a fan of the band and I'll pick up anything I can from them. Now, last album. Very, very impressed with this. The brand new Megadeth, The Sick, The Dying and The Dead. Yeah, very impressed. I like Dystopia as well. A lot of people didn't. I still like that album. This album sort of like takes you back to sort of like Countdown to Extinction, Euthanasia period in sound, which I'm a big fan of. I will say, so far so good. So White will always be my favourite Megadeth album. But yeah, really, really cool cover. And there's the back there. I like most of the songs on here. There's a couple that are a little bit boring, but generally it's a fantastic listen. Not really any filler on this album. I paid a lot of money for this. It cost me, I think it was $80, 80 New Zealand dollars for this. But as I'm a fan of Megadeth, I had to pick it up, and I wanted the vinyl, not the CD. But there we have Dave Mustaine and the boys. Including James Lemenzo from the 80s band White Lion, who I was a huge fan of back then, especially the album Pride and Big Game. This has been shown many times, so I won't go on about it too much. But yeah, Kiko does a great job on the guitars. But yeah, a really, really enjoyable listen. I'd say this will be in my top list somewhere. But yeah, I just picked up double vinyl set. I just don't understand why it was so expensive, but it is what it is. Didn't have to pick it up, but I did, so that's on me. But yeah, very, very happy with the new Megadeth. Yeah, so glad I picked it up in the end. Got a friend who decided not to pick it up. Didn't think that much of it. Oh, he enjoyed it, but he didn't want to pay that price for it. You may pick it up one day when the price drops, if it ever does. But yeah, very, very impressed with the new Megadeth. So that's my update for now. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to show. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye for now.